Food illusions, food illusion cakes. They've been on my bucket list for quite a while now, especially after watching so many ASMR channels. Apparently, it's a thing to eat food that looks like objects. So I knew I had to recreate this dish sponge for you. You'll be blown away by how easy this actually is to make and by how good this tastes. I bet you this will be one of the most fun and delicious cakes you'll ever make. Okay, so for this amazing recipe, you'll need some softened butter and sugar. We're going to make a butter cake today, which has a really moist, dense, soft crumb, which is perfect to recreate that dish sponge texture. If you've ever made my lemon cake brownies, you know what I'm talking about because it's the same recipe. Now, because it's summer and the cake is yellow, I'm going to flavor this cake with lemon zest. However, if you don't want to make a lemon cake or you just don't like lemon desserts, we cannot be friends, but you can add just vanilla and this will be a delicious vanilla cake. You're going to cream the butter and sugar until combined. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell. I post new videos every week. I've gone ahead and added my eggs one at a time until fully combined. This recipe, as you can see, is so simple, and even if you're not making this into a dish sponge cake, make this cake because it's delicious. At this point, we're going to add the dry ingredients, which I have previously sieved and mixed off camera, and the lemon juice. If you're not making a lemon cake, feel free to substitute the lemon juice with buttermilk. Mix the batter until combined and smooth, but don't overmix. Now, because we've added lemon juice, the cake batter may seem like it's slightly curdling. Don't panic, this is normal. It's due to the acidic components in the lemon juice. It will not affect the end result of your cake. You're going to pour 1/3 of the batter into a bowl. If you want to be really precise, you can use a scale like I did. 1/3 of the batter should be around 200 to 220 grams, but again, you can eyeball this. We're going to dye both batters, one yellow and one green. You want to use a good quality gel food coloring because a little does go a long way and you'll get a really vibrant color without having to alter the consistency of the cake batter. To get a really nice dark green, I did mix green and brown. Green alone is just not enough to give you that green sponge color. You're going to pour the batters in 2 square 7-inch baking sheets, buttered, floured, and lined with parchment paper. Because the green batter is not a lot, you will have to use a spatula, an offset spatula, to smooth out the batter. Give the pans a good bang, and you're going to bake both cakes in a preheated oven at 160 degrees Celsius or 320 Fahrenheit. The green cake will cook faster, so after 10-12 minutes, it should be done. So quickly take it out and continue to cook the yellow one for an additional 5 minutes. To summarize again, the green cake will take 10 minutes and the yellow one 15. But to be sure, always do the toothpick test. You're going to let these cool in their pans for 5 minutes and then take them out and let them cool completely before we assemble the sponge. Okay, so this is super easy. Get yourself some light color jam. Any flavor is fine. You won't taste it. It's such a small amount. I want to say this is probably a tablespoon in total. The jam will act like glue, so the two cakes will perfectly stick together. You don't have to use jam though. You could also use a tablespoon of glucose syrup. Now you have two options here. You can either leave the cake as is, but if you want to get that rough sponge texture and you want to make this look really realistic, we're going to take this a step further and slightly trim the top crumb of the cake. Use a serrated knife because it will give your cake that rough texture we want. If you use a simple smooth knife, you'll get an even clean look, and that's not the look we're going for. As you trim the top, you'll see this cake really come to life. I was so excited when I was making this cake. Don't worry if you trim a little too much like I did because it's gonna look even more realistic, as you'll see in a moment. You want to trim all 4 edges of the cake. Have those as a snack. They're delicious. That's always my treat during filming. Cut the cake into 6 rectangles and your cake is done. How cool does this look? This is probably the most fun cake I've ever made. Now I'm going to show you how to make the soap, which literally takes 2 minutes. All it is an underwhipped meringue. So in this clean bowl, I have an egg white to which I've added some lemon juice, and you're going to whip this up with some sugar. Do not whip this until stiff peaks or you won't get that large bubble structure. As soon as it looks like this, it's done. Now I will say that you do want to make this just before serving. As you can see, it's clearly underwhipped, so it won't be as stable as normal meringue and it won't hold its structure for very long. I do highly recommend you make it though, because it just completes the look. Whoever you're going to serve this to, family, friends, I guarantee you they'll be wowed and surprised and have a good laugh. This is definitely a cake you have to make. It's soft and moist, as you can see, but the fact that this looks like a dish sponge makes this an amazing and fun eating experience that you'll only fully understand when you make this.
You're so wild.